In the beginning, there was nothing. Okay, not really. But for our purposes today, let's just say that there were no people, no farms, no cities, no roads, no buildings, no beds, no boats, no computers, no nothing. And then one day a few lucky individuals had an idea so crazy it changed the world forever. They decided to create the very first village. This is the story of how civilization was born. Our story starts in what is today the Middle East, specifically the Fertile Crescent, the region surrounding the lower reaches of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. This area is significant because it contains some of the oldest known archaeological sites of early human habitation, such as the ancient city of Eridu and the more famous city of Ur. People from all over the region came to buy and sell goods. The villages also became more specialized. Some focused on growing food, while others focused on raising animals or making crafts. This specialization led to the creation of the first cities. The biggest and most influential of these early cities was Ur, located in what is now Iraq. Do you think you would have liked to live in one of these early villages? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more fun history videos. Thanks for watching. Ur was a cultural and religious center, as well as a major hub for trade. It was here that the first great empires were born, including the Akkadian Empire, the Babylonian Empire, and the Assyrian Empire. It was also situated between two great rivers, which provided fresh water for drinking and farming. The next great civilization arose in what is now China. This was followed by the civilizations of India, the Indus Valley, and the Ganges Plain, as well as Mesoamerica and the Andean civilizations. Each of these civilizations had its own unique contributions to make to the world. But they all shared one thing in common. They were all born in river valleys. As a result, the Fertile Crescent quickly became one of the most desirable places to live in the entire world. They also provided a natural barrier to protect the settlements from invaders. In addition, the rivers were used for transportation, which helped to connect the settlements to other parts of the world. Finally, the river valleys were home to rich deposits of minerals and other resources that were used to build homes, tools, and weapons. This region also includes parts of modern-day Syria, Lebanon, and Palestine, as well as the north of the Arabian Peninsula. As a result, it's no surprise that the first villages and eventually the first cities developed along the rivers. Who knows where we would be today if those early humans hadn't had the crazy idea to settle down in the Fertile Crescent all those years ago. Back in the day, this area was a lush and green place with plenty of vegetation and wildlife. The earliest known of these settlements dates back to around 10,000 BC. These early villages were small, consisting of only a few dozen people. They were also very basic. The houses were made of mud brick, and the streets were just dirt. There was no running water or electricity. Life was hard, but it was also simple. The villagers grew their own food, raised their own animals, made their own clothes, and built their own tools. They also developed the first laws and the first government. They needed these to keep order and maintain the peace. After all, they were living in close quarters with their neighbors, and sometimes close quarters means close fights. But why? Why did these early humans decide to settle down here? Well, up until this point, they had been nomadic hunter-gatherers, constantly on the move in search of food and water. But as the climate began to change and the ice caps started melting, new plants and animals began to appear in the Fertile Crescent. These included wheat, barley, lentils, sheep, goats, and cows. Suddenly, these early humans realized that instead of chasing their food, they could actually grow it. And instead of hunting wild animals, they could domesticate some of them. This was a huge breakthrough. For the first time in history, humans had the ability to create their own food supply. They no longer had to wander from place to place in search of sustenance. They could stay in one place and build a life there. And so the first villages were born. As the centuries passed, the villages grew larger and more prosperous. They became centers of trade and commerce. From the Fertile Crescent, civilization spread to other parts of the world. The river valleys provided the water necessary for growing crops and raising livestock. In short, the river valleys provided everything that was necessary for human beings to thrive. So there you have it, a brief history of the first villages and how civilization began.